BMW i7. So it's their flagship, luxury corporate executive sedan. Very big and comfortable, luxurious. It's got a huge TV screen in the back. But this one's all electric. And I thought the powertrain was truly impressive. Like, it really works well. But just like all electric cars, it annoyed me that I just keep watching the range go down and know that it's going to be such a bear to charge. Yesterday, I drove it into work. I had the guys in the garage plug it in at 7 a.m. I get down there to drive home to Scarsdale at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m., and it's only 61%. Like, all day it's charging. So, Hannah, what do you think about the big BMWs and going electric?
Well, I have to say I can totally relate to this anxiety that you're feeling with the electric vehicles, no matter how much range they say they have. And I'm a big fan. I haven't actually driven the i7. I've driven the EQS sedan, which is Mercedes equivalent to it. And I'm the same way. It's like I become fixated with watching the battery drop. And I'm actually surprised and happy that you had an available charger in the parking garage to charge it, because half the time that's not the case. The automakers really, they all say, well, most people only drive 20 to 30 miles a day. It truly, even if you feel scared about watching range drop, it's not actually based in reality. Which maybe not.
Come on. I mean, the thing is, if I have no range and I need to go somewhere, I don't have 14 hours to wait until it charges at home. And then if I go look for a charger near me, there are some, but half of them don't work. Yeah. And the other half, I've got to wait in line behind five cars on two chargers,
That's the reality of it. I'm already thinking about how am I going to get to Las Vegas for the F1 race in November, and I've been offered some electric vehicles to drive out there. And the thing is, driving an EV just to Vegas from LA, which it could be a 4-hour drive, it's going to be a bit more because I'm going to have to stop to charge. So that's just the reality of it, of a sort of a normal day drive that you could do, at least on the West Coast. In an EV, it does change the dynamic a little bit, but it's a nice car, right? On the inside.
So I absolutely love the car, and I never really thought about the 7 Series before. I always look at BMWs, and I think I like, the sportier, the M3s, and now I'm a dad, so maybe I should look at a 5 Series, but this changed my thinking about a lot of things in the sense that, okay, the i7 is impressive, but the battery thing, I'm not ready to mess with that now. So that's off the table. But then I looked back. The last generation, they had a V12 in the 7 Series. It was the M760Li. They'd never had an M7, but they have an M Sport version with a 12-cylinder engine. It's essentially, Hannah, as you know, the same as the Rolls-Royce 12-cylinder. Yeah. And they stopped making them in 2012. So I go to look on Auto Trader to see how much they're going for used, because new they were 165 or 180. Used, they're going for less than half. I'm finding 2020 M760Is on Auto Trader with just 25,000 miles for like $65,000. And now I'm thinking, I got to get one of these before they disappear.
Right. Yeah, that could be your in. I mean, smart buy early on. I don't think people will be, I don't know. How do you feel about buying a used electric vehicle? That's another question.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I would want to, although maybe when charging stations are everywhere and range is more like 450 miles on all the cars, I won't care. But I feel like this, and I'd love to hear your take, because you also bought a used Rolls-Royce. I feel like the used BMW M760 is a great purchase right now because it's relatively inexpensive with low miles, and they're not making any more. Like, this is the last one.
I think that's cool. I think having that engine would be really cool. You're obviously going to have no trouble finding, parts and people to work on it. I mean, what's not to love? I think that makes a lot of sense.
What do we know, Hannah, or are we learning more about what we think the ultimate demand is for EVs? How deep is it out there? I'm just not sure it's as deep as maybe the industry's trying to lead us?
That's a really good question. And Matt and I actually exchanged some emails about this the other day, where I think they were saying we've passed a 5% level of EVs in the market. And, that was always considered by some to be the quote unquote tipping point, that once we cross that threshold, it's just going to go like wildfire and going to take off. And I just think that is a little optimistic. We're not seeing that for the very reasons that Matt is describing when he drives the i7. As a second or third car, sounds great, but if that's your primary driver, I just don't think it's doable quite yet.
Exactly. They're great for the wealthy, or if you're like a serious social justice warrior and that's all you care about. But otherwise, hey, Hannah, the other thing that we talk about in terms of like hyperdrive or the future of cars, one is EVs, obviously. The other one is autonomous driving. Yeah. And you have a piece out about level 3 hands-free driving. What does that mean?
Yeah, this is kind of a big deal. So there are 5 levels of autonomous driving, from 0 to 5, 5 being fully autonomous. The car's a robo-taxi, basically. So Mercedes has just come out with level 3 driving, which is the first time an automaker in the US has been able to offer level 3. Now, level 3 means that you do not need to have your hands on the steering wheel ever, and you do not need to keep your eyes on the road, which means you can watch videos, read a book, take video conference calls, play games, answer emails, whatever.
Sleep.
Many automakers have a level 2, including Tesla, Audi, BMW, even Tesla's autopilot full self-driving, which they call full self-driving. That's actually level 2, which does require that you keep your hands on the wheel intermittently and you keep your eyes on the road. Mercedes did beat everyone to the punch with level 3. Now, there are some limitations. For instance, this level 3 drive that I did, it only works at speeds under 40 miles an hour in pretty heavy traffic, which that's great. I mean, that worked for me.
LA.
And yeah, you have to be on a highway. It doesn't work on surface streets. You have to be on a highway with at least 2 lanes of traffic. So it's still limited, but it is admittedly a big step forward.
That's and what it costs $2,500 a month. You did it in the EQS, which, by the way, I loved as well. Very luxurious, and I like the pedal feel. And what do you think about the fake sound?
I'm not a fan. We'll just say that, I don't like synthetic things. Polyester isn't fun to wear, and synthetic engine notes are my favorite. I know that you have to have some sound for safety and security reasons. I don't know.
This is funny because Hannah loves like the future tech and the advancements, and I'm the curmudgeonly old sort of purist.
We're not going to say cranky.
Yeah.
We're not going to say
But I love I don't know why. I just loved in the i7. I love the fake sounds, but I thought the EQS did it the best in sport mode. It was like a roar. It was like a lion's roar.
Oh no! A lion? No. I mean, maybe a very futuristic sort of Tron lion. Yeah, maybe.
Admittedly, I don't spend much time with lions, so I don't know.